I'm unstoppable. I'm unstoppable. I'm unstoppable. I'm unstoppable. I'm unstoppable.
I'm unstoppable, yeah, unstoppable. I'm unstoppable, yeah, unstoppable. I'm unstoppable, yeah, unstoppable. I'm unstoppable, yeah, unstoppable.
Hey everybody. Ooh, if someone can y'all hear me? I hope so. Cause child, I don't know. Welcome to Red Lipstick Vibes, where the vibe is always positive. Please let me know if y'all can hear me in that. This is going to be a nice quick live. I just want to every now and then I like to come up and give some information because you know that I am a autism. So I like to always give some information on autism and related disabilities. So today I'm going to be discussing the importance of um, outdoor play. And quite frankly, it's not just for children with autism. I think um, that's it's for every child needs to go outside and explore the world. Um, Nowadays with the whole electronic world that we live in, a lot of our children don't even go outside to play. Everything is online. They're in front of the computer. They're in front of the what do y'all call that thing, the PlayStation and all that kind of stuff, and very rarely get outside to play and explore the world. I mean, like when we were growing up, it was very different. Our moms used to tell us like, go outside. We would go outside and not come back until the street light came on, that kind of thing. But today's kids, yeah, not so much. They're not going outside. They're staying inside, um, which can be detrimental to them. So I just want to just share some information. This is not going to be long. Thank you guys for all those who are tuning in that are in the clouds. I know it's during the time people are at work, and I know some people are over on other channels with the debauchery. So those who are checking out the replay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hit the like button. And so let's get started. Don't need to keep us going. Let's get started. Let me pull my slides up. Oops, we all wrong. Let me go back to the beginning, baby. Okay, y'all ready? Here we go. All right, so today we're going to talk about the benefits of play in a natural setting. I know this live is geared to the autistic community, but however, you can apply these tools to um, every child's life. Okay, so it's just not for children with disabilities; it's also for children in general. Okay, so here we go. Let's go to the first slide. So we're going to watch a clip, and they're going to talk about the why playing outdoors is good for kids. Okay, so let's check out the clip, and then we're going to talk about it.
Why playing outdoors is good for kids. Spending time outside is essential for healthy, happy kids. Experts recommend young children spend at least 3 hours a day doing a range of physical activities. Throwing paper airplanes or this cool glider kit, along with other energetic play like running and jumping, builds muscles, flexibility, endurance, and good posture. Explore nature with a magnifying glass. Create characters with chalk, dig and make castles in a sandbox, add some craft sticks, and boost our gross motor skills. Physical activity can help us sleep and eat better. It reduces stress and mental fatigue. Being outdoors allows us to be freer and louder. It gives us fresh air and vitamin D and promotes independence, problem solving skills, and creativity.
Well, there we go. That was the regular. So let's explore some of the things that were said in the video. So the benefits of outdoor play. When spending time in a natural setting, all kids can benefit from. They gain more confidence, improve emotional regulation, increase attention, greater physical fitness, improved fine and gross motor skills, and also improve social skills as well. Um, there we go. Let's talk about this one. In a book that I read, it's called "The Last Child in the Woods." There was a phrase in the book that's called "nature's defect order." It's used to describe negative symptoms that appear to increase as children are spending less playing time outdoors. And the number one thing they talk about is obesity. Look, we see it. We see it all the time, where there are kids that are um, morbidly obese, even as babies. 3, 4-year-olds are weighing almost like 100 pounds. Hey, Donna, thank you for coming by. They're wearing these kids are huge because they're not going outside. They're not getting any physical they're not getting any physical play, physical activities. So they're sitting in front of a computer screen. They're playing games all day, and they're eating junk all day. So therefore, you have little kids that's not even out of kindergarten weighing 80, 90 pounds. And then the other thing is depression. You may not think that this does affect little kids. They're becoming increasingly depressed, anxiety, all kinds of disorders because of this nature defect disorder. Attention disorders. What is that? ADD, AHD, all that. Y'all know what I'm saying? ADHD. All these things. We live in a very technology driven world, and exposure to outdoors is becoming more limited. And these are some of the things that we are experiencing with our children because we no longer say go outside, put the game down, go outside and play, go do some jump rope, hopscotch, hide and go seek. There, and a lot of the kids have social skills are not developed because they're not going outside. They're not mingling with other kids. They're being secluded. They're becoming introverts. Not intentionally. It's not something that they grow up with. So because some people are just like that, but this is like something that they're beginning to develop. Secluded because we're allowing the computer and the iPads and phones entertain our children, teach our children. So all they do is sit in front of a screen and eat snacks all day. Unhealthy things. Let's go on. Here's some more information. There isn't a lot of evidence for nature and autism, but there is much more evidence that exposure to nature can reduce symptoms in other developmental disorders, such as, what did I just say? ADHD and ADD. Children with ADHD who takes walks or play in a green space have increased attention and concentration compared to children who walk and play in built spaces. It is something about getting outside in the sun breathing clean, fresh air, exploring the world around them. Please try to get as much outdoor play with your kids as much as possible. There's so much benefits health-wise, going outside and play. We didn't understand why. We probably think that our parents are like, they just want us to get out of their hair, but not they. I don't even think that they understood that we were benefiting from them telling us to go outside and play somewhere. We were definitely benefiting this. Hey, brother. Yes, this is a very, very important topic, especially these days. Like, our kids are just, yeah. Sis did a show on it the other day, and they were talking about because that now they're and I'm gonna do a show on it as well. Is there's now a new diagnosis of virtual autism. We see the videos where the kids be spazzing out when the parents take away the phone or the iPad. I believe there was a case, I believe it was in Florida, when the teacher took away a device from the kid. He literally picked her up and slammed her. They can't live without it. So I have another video. We're going to talk about the 7 reasons being outdoors can help your autistic child. And let's take autistic out and just say your child, because quite frankly, all these steps can absolutely help not just children with disabilities, but all children. So let's check out what the video has to say.
Seven plus reasons being outdoors can help your autistic child. Welcome back to our channel, and today we're going to talk about the benefits of being outdoors for autistic children. Autism is a condition that affects a person's social skills, communication, and behavior, and it can be challenging for children to cope with these difficulties. In this video, we will show you 7 reasons why being outdoors can help your autistic child. We live in a world where children spend so much time indoors and in front of screens. This can cause anxiety, obesity, social development, and communication delays.
What did I just say? Didn't we just say that? And we see in the medical community, we see there is a huge uptick in children, small children as young as 4 and 5 diagnosed with anxiety disorders. And of course, the obesity thing. No social skills. Communication delays. Because if you're not interacting with other people, if you're not going outside and you're just entertained by electronic devices, how will you learn how to communicate with other people? Again, a lot of these tips are not just for, children with a disability. Brother says, facts as any child and some adults. Right. Some of that need to go outside for sure. Yes. Let's finish up the video.
Children with autism are especially vulnerable to these issues. The first reason why being outdoors can help your autistic child is that it supports their well-being and health and helps reduce anxiety and stress. Studies show that spending time in nature can be soothing and reduce negative feelings. Being outdoors allows children to feel free and connected with nature, which can improve their well-being. Reason number 2 is that being outdoors helps meet your autistic child's sensory needs. Autistic children often experience sensory processing disorders and may be overstimulated by different sounds, smells, lights, or textures. Being outside can help regulate their sensory processing and provide the sensory experiences they need.
Now, this point is very, 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 very true. So for those you don't know that, if you watch from the beginning of the show, you'll see some clips of my son. My son has autism. He's now 22 years old, guys. Oh God, I got a grown man, y'all. And since I said that, make sure y'all hit the Cash App or the Super Chat, because y'all know Mr. Caleb and his paper towel fund. Okay, we still got the paper towel fund going on. All right, so please don't forget to hit the Cash App and Super Chat for the paper towel fund. But this is very true. When a lot of kids have sensory issues, and what happens is when you take them out in the open. So I find a lot of times when I'm counseling with parents, they think that they have to shield, because they have sensory issues with certain things. They have to shield them from them or keep them from the sights and the sounds. But that's contrary to what it should be. You should be exposing them to those things, slowly but surely. You don't want to just, shock their system, but taking them outside will help them regulate their, the sensory issues, whether it be touch or sound or sight. But if you constantly keeping them away from the sounds, or keeping them away from, the touch, whatever sensory problems that they have, they will not develop any type of way to regulate themselves when they are faced with a burst of sensory issues. So these are some important things, that one of the most important reasons that you need to take your children outside, so they'll be able to regulate themselves. They'll be able to judge what they can take and what they can't take, but they can't, how to deal with certain things when they get overloaded. But if you constantly keep them inside, and then one day you decide to take them to the store and they flipping out, well, ma'am, well, sir, you kept them inside all this time hidden. So you don't think that they're going to spaz out with all these lights and sounds and people and all these things is going on? To me, that's neglectful. I'm just saying. Okay. Brother says, exactly, sis. No overload, but explode. Exactly. Thank you. Hi, Zyrex. Thank you, darling, for coming by. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Zyrex, for the $5 super chat. She has the Shiva doll clapping. Thank you, darling. Thank you for I don't have my music. Well, we'll play the music at the end of the show. Thank you so much. Let's finish the clip.
Reason number 3 is that spending time outdoors can strengthen your autistic child's executive functions. Autistic children often struggle with executive function disorders, which makes it challenging for them to manage time, start and complete a task, or put themselves in someone else's shoes. Being outdoors can support their developing executive functions, like organizing, planning, inhibitory control, and reasoning skills. Reason number 4 is that being outdoors improves motor skills and promotes physical activity. Many children with autism have poor gross motor skills, which influences their social skills. Being outdoors and participating in physical activities can help them develop these skills, leading to improved social development. Reason number 5 is that being outdoors promotes communication and interaction. Being outside offers children opportunities to interact with others and develop social skills in a natural setting. It can also provide opportunities for shared experiences with their family and friends. Reason number 6 is that being outdoors can support emotional regulation. Autistic children may find it hard to manage their emotions, but being outside can help them regulate their emotions by providing a calming and therapeutic environment. The final reason why being outdoors can help your autistic child is that it can provide opportunities for exploration and learning. The natural environment can be a great source of learning and exploration for children with autism, allowing them to develop new skills and knowledge. I hope you can get inspired today and try to encourage your autistic child to spend more time outdoors. Let me know in the comments what is your child's favorite outdoor activity.
Okay, so let's talk about some more stuff. Here, oops, sorry. Go back slide. Thank you. All right, we're going to talk about some common challenges for autistic children, okay, that may prohibit people from taking them outdoors. Hey, Frieza. Thank you for coming by, darling. All right, so here are some challenges that may have. All right. Attention in communication. Joint attention, shifting attention, processing information, and method of communication. So these are some of the challenges that autistic children have. But exposing them to the outdoors, exposing them to other social settings, typically can help them regulate these types of communication and attention issues. All right. Nature solution for attention and communication issues. So here's some reasons how nature can taking your child outside can help with those issues that we just read. Sharing experiences outdoors give us a connection to others that does not have to involve direct contact. And being exposed to outside, there is an actual theory. It's called the attention restoration theory, which is the acronym is ART. Direct attention fatigue, but can be restored through exposure to nature. For many children and adults with autism, difficulties in focusing on tasks, especially those outside of their interests and emotional regulations, can be problematic. But a constant exposure to these things will help them develop and enhance their cognitive function and behavior performances. Yes. Yes, please hit the Cash App at Red Lipstick Rise for the Paper Towel Fund. Yes. Yes, Paper Towel Fund is still going on. All right. Here are some more challenges. The social interactions. And we see that with a lot of kids, not even with kids with autism, but also just, kids when they don't know how to play with one another. They don't know how to talk with one another. A lot of kids are showing a lot of aggression nowadays because they don't know how to deal with people. We have more people that are inclusive, the secluded, or what they call introverts. And what's that thing they be calling the guys now? What's that thing they be calling the guys? Oh, the incels. Sort of like that. Groups can be more challenging than individuals. Multiple people talking, more body language, more tones of voices, and social clues. So this can be sensory overload for them when outdoors in the public or in crowded spaces. To the proximity to other children may increase, so they may get anxiety. So these are some of the challenges that they will have, and putting them in nature can actually help reduce these challenges. So here how exposing them to nature can play in a natural environment stimulates improved outcomes in social interactions. Nature provides experiences different from indoor environment. Like example, taking turns on a rope swing or working as a team to build something. You know, when you go to the beach, you build sandcastle and all that kind of stuff. Taking turns, sharing a shelter during the rainstorm or something like that. When any type of activity where you have to play with others can definitely help with their social skills. Let's see what the next challenge is. All right. Here's the next one. So we talked about the sensory overload that a lot of kids get. And again, we're not just going to put this with autistic children because you know we have a lot of children that's being diagnosed with hypersensitivity, attention deficit disorders, anxiety, and go on and on and on. That we have more and more children being diagnosed with these disorders. So we have hypersensitivity, sensory input that input is very intense and can be overwhelming and impossible for a child to focus on anything. And hyposensitivity senses aren't relaying enough information to the brain, and the child may need additional sensory output. Even as adults, we all have sensory preferences and often have a lifestyle that matches it. So even adults have this issue as well. Let's see how nature will help regulate these issues. Here's nature's solution to sensory processing. Wild nature spaces are rich sensory environments, but usually the intensity of stimuli is low, and in many public places, so much more tolerable. If your child does not enjoy being messy, wet, or tries to eat non-food items, avoid wild nature spaces. Instead, let your child explore nature through other senses. Try listening to the birds or looking for insects. I used to do the insect walk. Autistic children who are oversensitive outside may connect with nature through sight, sound, and touch, and can enhance their ability to cope with a wider range of input and reduce their sensitivities. Again, you have to expose them to it. For those who are undersensitive, walks in nature with a focus on the sight, the sounds, and the smells can increase their sensory stimulation in these areas. So, is it important, guys, to expose your children to the outdoors? Take the laptop, take the iPad, take the cell phones away, take away the PS5 and all that kind of stuff, and go outside. Now, here's some more challenges. We have the mental health challenge. 70% of people with autism experience depression or severe anxiety in comparison to about 25% of the general population. So 25% of the general population suffer from anxiety and depression. Look at that number. Whew. So let's see how nature is a solution for that. Nature's solution for mental health challenges. Spending time in nature improves a child's emotional state and increases their cognitive ability. Personal well being is considered one of the primary benefits of autistic children engaging with the natural environment, helping them relax and feel more comfortable around their surroundings. The hormone oxytocin is what is that? Oxytocin. Y'all know what I'm saying. Is responsible for emotional bonding and feelings of well-being and calm. Is that? Oh, that's oxytocin. Oh, okay. All right. Research has suggested that children with autism often have low levels, but contact with plants, animals have been shown to increase. Look at that. It increases it when they're in contact with plants and animals. And I think that's why a lot of times having a pet is a good idea. Maybe a cat or a dog or bird or something like that. Mr. Caleb had a bird. Brother to laugh me. Look, brother, I get tongue tied. I get tongue tied with brother in the chat. Time out. Somebody time brother up 5 seconds. Cause he picking at my getting tongue tied. Time you out, brother. But being in contact with plants, I have a couple. I was looking for the photo when Mr. Caleb was when he was smaller. We will go to Audubon Park in New Orleans, and it's a wide open space with the ducks, and it has like all kinds of birds and things like. And he would love to go out there and just explore, chase the ducks, feed the ducks, and things like that, and all the different types of trees and flowers and things, and he would just go and explore it. So I would just sit on the bench and just watch him do his thing. So exposing your children to nature actually does help them mentally, and for those that are dealing with the the anxiety and some of the behavior disorders that are accompanied with some of our kids, not just kids with autism, but there are children that have a lot of deficit or disorder, or what is that called, defiant disorders and things like that. When you take them to therapy or take them to a counselor, they tell you that like nature sounds, gentle stream sounds or rain sounds, or nature sounds does calm them down. It calms them down. So sometimes instead of putting on the YouTube video of the sounds, why don't you take them outside? Take them outside. Let's see. Let's go on, because I don't want to be up here long. And here's a statement from one of the lectures that I attended. A teacher interviewed in a Natural England report stated, "What I have found working with autistic children is that they are just different when you take them into nature to how they are in the classroom. When you are in school, it's very contrived, and they know they will have to do things that they may not be very comfortable about doing. But when you go into nature, i.e., the woods, the park, the fields, I think they feel more relaxed. They seem to understand the environment. They feel more comfortable. Maybe because they are much freer to roam and explore and to be involved in the sensory aspect of nature." Oh, that's what's called. Okay, yeah, the ODD, oppositional defiant disorder. Yeah, there are a couple of counselors that I attended a conference call, and they were saying that the nature sounds and calming sounds, soothing sounds, actually does help them when they're having an outburst. So exposing your kids to those sensories can definitely help you when they're having these episodes or outbursts. So if you are constantly doing it, then they will. Because for example, Mr. Caleb, um, he knows how to find where he'll turn on some jazz real quick. Okay, because my son loves music. So when he's feeling some kind of way, he'll turn on some jazz, or he'll find some gospel song in there, and just he just be chilling. Or uh one night I called him. He was in, and he likes to turn before he goes to bed. He will turn on the There's a video where it's just showing the stars and the rain sounds in the background, and this is what he falls asleep to. So once you expose them to those types of things, they learn how to regulate themselves. You don't have to force it or suggest it, because whatever is soothing to them, they will automatically, it will become a routine for them, and they will be able to calm themselves. All right. Here are some perceived barriers for autistic children in a natural setting. The perception is it's too risky. Oh my God, he's gonna hurt himself. I don't want him to go out there by home. We have those parents. They want to shelter them. They want to keep them inside. They don't want nobody, and unfortunately, I'll talk about this on another thing. Unfortunately, there are a lot of parents that are ashamed of their kid, so they keep them indoors, locked away, so to speak. Not understanding that they're actually crippling them even more. So the perception is too risky. Many parents are fearful of allowing their autistic children to play in natural settings. The reality is, risky play is the thrilling and exciting play where children engage in risk without certainty, and it has been proven to have immense benefits. Be careful might cause a withdrawal from activity. So if you keep saying, be careful, be careful, be careful. Sorry about that. We lost something. So when you keep saying, oh, be careful, be careful, be careful, be careful, you kind of it might cause them to withdraw from the activity. So sort of like if they allow them to play with the heights, such as climbing the trees, if they're old enough, play with, like, with toys that's fast, like riding a bike or a scooter or something like that. My internet is acting a fool right now. Playing with tools, my internet is acting crazy, guys. Sorry, guys. So make sure that you don't confine them when they're outside playing. I know we want them to be careful, especially with the boys. Boys gonna be boys. They're gonna pick up sticks, and they're gonna pick up rocks, and they're gonna pick up this and this and that. You know what I'm saying? Watch them, be careful, but at the same time, let them play. Let them play. Stop being so scared. Here's one thing. And I truly, and I thank God for this, because even when Caleb developed autism, because contrary to belief, my son was not born with autism. We'll talk about that another time. When he developed autism, I made it a fact to not cripple him by treating him like he was different. I made it a conscious choice not to treat him like he was, quote unquote special, or or disabled. I wanted to treat him just like he was any other kid. So in my eyes, he was normal. And I treated him as such. So when I took him outside, baby, I let him play in the dirt. I let him do this, I let him do that, and because I wanted him to explore. And I truly believe this is one of the things that helped him. Now, I'm not saying to be neglectful. Now, if your kid got this thing, putting stuff in their mouth now, and I mean, so that means parents. That means you need to be a parent and watch. Okay, it does not mean you just not participate. So don't just sit them outside, and if your kid has an issue with putting things in his mouth, now that's something totally different. Now, if you don't have that problem, you can send your kid outside. All right, let's keep going. All right, here's another one. The perception that it's bad weather. It's true. If children are too cold, wet, or hot, they probably not benefit from being outdoors. The reality is easy to remedy with the appropriate clothing and fun activities. So we can't use the excuse that the weather is this and the weather is that and the weather is that. Just put some clothes on your kid, okay? I mean, I don't see how this was be an issue, but I mean, people are weird like that. I mean, I don't know. But that's what they say, that this is an issue with some people, But just dress them for the occasion and allow them to go outside. Let me see what you say, brother. Yes, let the children play. Hey, sis. Brother says, we let them explore because the more they will find out. The more they will find out, the less they fuck around. Yes, very true. Very true. So with the whole bad weather thing, and it's interesting because like, I used to let Caleb go out in the rain. Just let him go out there real quick and then come back in, so he can feel the water, the rain coming down and stuff like that, because they're so inquisitive about it. Like, oh my God, what is that coming? See, you have to explore with your child to get them used to sights and sounds and the lightning and the thunder. I mean, so we can't use the bad weather as a excuse not to allow them to explore the rain. Yes, exactly. Play in the rain. Yes, there's nothing wrong with it. Especially if your kid like water. If your kid like water, let them go outside in the rain for a little bit. They will have a good old time. Okay, all the puddles just gone. All right, let's see what the other perception is. All right. Okay, here is a big one. Here's a big one, and this is the one that I when I'm talking with my parents, this is one that can cause parents not to take their kid out. So the perception is my kid might stand out. A lot of parents are ashamed of their kids. A lot of parents are, they, especially with a newly diagnosed kid, they kind of seclude themselves as well. So, the fear of being judged, the fear of people not understanding will allow parents to kind of keep their kids on lock and key. So my kid might stand out: inappropriate social interaction, unexpected greeting, difficulty understanding rules, temper tantrums, not typical behavior. But the reality is, exposure to small doses and increasing over time can help reduce these challenges. What did I say in the beginning? Exposing your child slowly to social interactions will help them regulate their sensories, will help them regulate their emotions, will help them regulate their behaviors. You're not going to be able to shield them from ever. But I do understand that a lot of parents, this is a lot of parents fear. They fear that their child is going to be picked on because of their, awkwardness. They're not the same. But which I found was very interesting while Mr. Caleb was, going through school is, the kids understand better than the grown-ups do. The kids understand more than the grown-ups do. Mr. Caleb had all kind of friends, and Lord, when he got in high school, he had all kind of little girlfriends. Lord Jesus, they was fighting over my baby. Come sit with me, Caleb. Come over here. Mr. Caleb was a lover boy in high school. Okay, had all the girls. So we as parents, we fear, that our kids going to get picked on or whatever. And then in a lot of cases, that's not the case. Kids are more understanding than we are. They accept it more than we are. So don't shield them from going outside and being social because of our own anxieties and fear. Because you're really going to stunt their growth. So here's the next. Let's go to the next one. It's not safe. Oh no. I can't let him go outside. The fear of traffic dangers, wandering, and these are some of the things that parents, especially with kids with autism, they have the wandering is a big deal, where they just go off, and bullying from other children. We have that fear. However, here is where the exposure to the outside is important. Slowly but surely expose to them. So when it comes to the traffic danger, look, okay, so here's what I can say about that. Now, when you have a little one, this means you have to be a parent. This means when you take them outside, you don't just get on the bench and put the cell phone to your face while they roaming. That's what that means. So that means you need to be a parent now and watch your kid. Now, when they're old enough, you teach them traffic rules, stopping, looking back, looking both ways, that kind of listening for the cars. And you can teach you even though they have you can teach them that, okay? But however, for all these other things here, that means you have to be a parent, ma'am, sir, or whomever is watching your kid. You can't just take them outside and then you go sit on the bench and then you put your cell phone to your face, or you open up your laptop, or you open up a tablet and then let them do whatever. And the next thing you know, you all on Facebook and TikTok or watching a YouTube video, and then you look up, your kid is gone. And then you hollering and screaming, where my kid at? Well, ma'am, you weren't watching them. So of course you're going to say it's not safe. But the reality is, find outdoor spaces that the child can be contained and watch easily. There are parks that have a little fence. If you have a yard, there you can start there until they get used to being outside, and you teach them about not wandering and teaching them the traffic rules. But until then, ma'am, sir, you need to be a freaking parent. Let me see what Sis says. Sis says, don't assume your child has been diagnosed with autism and cannot. Yes, they can. Amen. I'm a living witness to that. Okay. They can learn very quickly. You'll be surprised. Stop stunting your children's growth because you think they are delicate flowers that they can't learn. Let me t- let me tell y'all something. Y'all be stop listening to them doctors be telling y'all that shit. Okay. They told me my son will not read, and you can see in the beginning of the video of this show, I showed you that he was reading. My son plays the piano. He can read music. So when they tell you your child can't do shit, I say bullshit. If your child can do it, mine can too. Matter of fact, my kid can do it better than yours. I'm just saying. Shout out to the Paper Towel Fund. Hit the Cash App. Red Lipstick Vibes. Thank you. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, of course. But what about the phobias? Outdoor spaces can trigger phobias. Construction, traffic noise, rain, thunder, lighting, public bathrooms, crowded. Okay, so wait a minute. I need to get diagnosed. I just, look, cause y'all, you look. Miss Todd, look, I don't be doing humans like that. Like crowded spaces, so I may have an issue. That's a whole double subject. But crowded noise, crowds, noise, noisy spaces, virus bugs, that kind of thing. So I was about to say something, but I'm not gonna. Okay, but anyway, all right. For this is the planning is key. Okay, so you're going to avoid certain places. So if your kid has a certain thing with certain noises and you know it's going to make them flip out, so what you do is you're going to avoid those types of places. If you know nearby there's a construction site or there's a train track there, you know a train is going to go by, they're freaking out because you're going to have to um you know plan around those things and take them to places where we can avoid those things that he or she is afraid of. I mean, it's basically being a parent. Shout out to Promote Conscious Parenting. It's basically being a parent. And then when it comes to the, like the bugs and spiders and bees and things like that. So what I found that was interesting is that creating a little how you say, like a little assignment, studying the bugs and checking them out, showing them pictures and things like that. So then when they see them and they won't freak out. You can make it fun when it comes to certain things, even with certain noises. I tried that with Mr. Caleb, with the thunder. So we made a little science project where we actually made the thunder sounds. And so he was about 8 years old then, and because we did the little science project of making the thunder sounds, he no longer was afraid of the thunder. The thunder noises didn't, trigger him. So basically, shout out to Promote Conscious Parenting. You have to develop ways to validate your child's fears, but yet assuring them that it's okay. Creating ways to actually engage your child with the world around them and not being afraid of the world around them, because they're not going to be little always. They're going to have to go outside in the world at some point. You can't keep them in the house forever. So your job as a parent is to expose them slowly but surely to things that you think is going to be a phobia. All right. All right, we almost done. I told you I was going to be real quick. So here are some suggestions. Suggestions for nature exposure. Allow unstructured play in a natural setting. Let them go play in the leaves. Let them go play in the dirt. Let them play with the rocks. Pick up sticks. I mean, Mr. Caleb used to pull up the grass and throw the grass. I mean, whatever floats your boat. Whatever. Let them do whatever floats their boat. If they're not hurting themselves or anybody else, let them do it. The natural setting can be simple. Backyard, park, go for a nature walk or something like that. Look for different kinds of wildlife or plants, even if through a window. So I know here in Louisiana we have like a wildlife little things that you can drive through and then animals come up to you and all that kind of stuff and see things like that. Add little nature experiences as comfortable and interest grow. Because I'm gonna tell you, the more you introduce them to it, they actually going to want to do it more. They're going to find more enjoyment in it the more you do it. Do not feel like you must direct them. Self-direct nature play builds creativity and problem solving. Let them do it. Let them get dirty. Let them loose with it. If you're afraid of the clothes getting dirty, look, you better go to the thrift store and get them something to you wear. They can get into it. Okay, make mud pies and all that kind of stuff. Teaching them gardening, planting flowers, feeding, and like I was telling you earlier, I used to take Mr. Caleb to Audubon Park and let him feed the ducks. And he was like maybe 7 or 8 years old. That was his thing, baby. When he saw that bag of bread, we was about to get it because he knew he got excited because he knew he was gonna go feed the ducks. Take him to an orchard, a farm, pick apples, pumpkins. There are a lot of things you can do with your child outside. Get them away from the computer screens. Get them away from the iPads and the phones and the PlayStations and what's the other thing they be playing? I don't know. Let the sun hit their skin. Let the fresh air hit their skin. This will help them emotionally, mentally, and socially of getting outside. Here's a few more ideas. Here's some ideas. You can paint rocks. Like I said earlier, the miniature garden. Crayon trees, nature faces, flowers, taking photos of of nature, climbing trees, skipping stones, having a race. Well, I can't do the race because my son, he's like every bit of I skipped it. My son is every bit of 6'3", child. Ain't no race here. Okay. He would definitely win because I'm only 5'1". Making, like you'd say, I making mud pies, go hiking, create rain sounds, building a sandcastle, go fishing. I've taken Mr. Caleb fishing, and these are some things that a lot of parents, don't want to do because they're afraid that the child is going to hurt themselves, afraid the child is going to wander off and things like that. But see, that requires you as the parent to be a parent and not take them places and put your face into a computer screen or get on the phone. Hey, TC. Thank you for stopping by. Interact with your child when they're outside. Do some fun things with your kid. And this will help them feel more comfortable as well while you are doing it as well with them. Sis says, many just don't want to do. Sis, they don't. They don't. They rather for someone else to do it. They want to just be, Brother says, hands don't mean completely hands off. Exactly. Exactly. 'Cause, 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 'c There are so many things that you can do with your child as in helping them explore the world around them. A lot of things you can do with your kids. So, here's a little quote that I like by Penny Whitehouse. Encourage your kids to look for nature everywhere you go. It's the weeds breaking through the pavement. It's the leaves forming small clumps along the side of the road. It's the sky at any given time of the day or night. It's the wind doing what it likes to your hair. Look around and it won't take long to find it. Like for example, when me and Mr. Caleb are going for a ride somewhere, I point out stuff all the time. I'm like, okay, look at the cows. And he'd be like, move, yeah. Or we're going over a bridge, over some water, and I'll tell them to look at the boats and the ships and things passing by. I try to find something in everything we do. And it's not that I'm being overwhelming, but I want to continue. I want his brain to continue to work and think and be mesmerized by the world around him. Because I'm gonna tell you exactly what he does sometimes. When I show him something new, you know what he does? He'll go straight to Google. He'll go to Google and he'll Google it, and then then he wants to. These kids are smart. They're smart, but it takes for a parent to be engaging and interactive with your child. Don't rely on them having recess at school or gym class. This is something you should be doing as well. One thing I tell the parents that I work with is that whatever they are teaching at the schools, you should be implementing at home as well, even more. In order for your child not to regress, in order for your child to improve, parents, you have to do the same. If there's a therapy that is working, don't just rely on them going to therapy and then do whatever the program at the therapy sessions or at the school, but then when they get home you allow them to do nothing or don't have any structure, don't have any routine, but you expect them to go to school or to therapy to continue that. No ma'am, no sir, you are supposed to continue everything that they're doing there. Thank you, brother. Reinforcements. Yes, reinforcement. And what is so interesting is that a lot of when Mr. Caleb first developed autism and he was going to like OT and speech and all that, and because I was already implementing a lot of things because I did my research before he even went to that. Because once I found out about autism, I became a mama bear. So they couldn't tell me nothing because I already knew everything. So a lot of the things that they were trying to implement, he already knew it because guess what? Mama already had going on at home. That's why now that's why I believe that's why he's so self-sufficient now. Never had any behavior problems. Well, it was that one time he did choke the teacher, but that's a whole nother conversation, y'all. We're talking about this, but anyway. Child. Except for that one time at band camp. But other than that, because I implemented structure and routine at home, and I learned his learning style, and quite frankly, I had to tell the teachers his learning style. because when they go to these schools, they try to put one size fit all, and you can't do that because each child is very different. I had to tell the teachers, no, let me tell y'all something about Mr. Caleb. Mr. Caleb learns in rhythm. And once they knew that, they were able to implement what I said in the classroom. And he graduated with honors. Not a certificate, but with a high school diploma. Okay? So you can do it, parents. You can do it. Promote conscious parenting. You have to be involved with your kids. So, for those, that need backup, here are some books and some studies that I pulled my information from. So y'all can't say Miss Ty be up here just talking. Okay, nope. I do my research. So here's a few things that you guys can look up. Figure out some ways to incorporate nature into your child's life. And again, this is not just for autistic children. All children need to go outside. These kids are being stunted. Their growth is being stunted. Social skills are being stunted. They're developing all these different disorders and all this kind of stuff. It's because they're not getting outside. They're not interacting with other people. They're not getting any vitamin D, no sunshine, no fresh air, eating junk all day. Again, our kids are the babies be not just the babies be obese. I seen this one show that the baby was like 90 pounds at 3 or 4 years old. You know why? Because that baby's not getting no exercise, no kind of physical activity whatsoever. So, guys, this was all I have for today. This was just a little quickie. I just wanted to share that information. Please support the Mr. Caleb's Paper Towel Fund at Cash at Red Lipstick Files. Shout out to Zyrex for the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, darling. I appreciate you. Thank you for everybody that tuned in. From time to time, I'll be just doing a little quick, just giving out some information for parents. And just know that a lot of things that I talk about, it may have the word autism in it, but a lot of things I'm talking about is going to be geared to all children. Okay. So this is going to be the end of that. I thank you guys for tuning in. If you are catching the replay, make sure you hit that like button. Go back and leave a comment. If there's anything that you want to discuss or talk about, if there's any issues that you're having with your child, and you would like to get some more information on it, just shoot me an email, leave a comment, and I will definitely. Oh, you said check the Cash App? Okay. Shout out to you, brother and sis. Thank you for the $5 cheap super chat. I mean, Cash App. Thank you, brother, for the $5. I forgot to upload my little music thing, y'all. Okay, I was rushing. Okay, thank you for the Paper Towel Fund. Thank you. Thank you for yes, because your nephew, Lord Jesus, he be on something with the Paper Towel Fund. But thank you guys for tuning in. I think I have one more show, emergency preparedness show Friday, I believe. That's going to be a much needed one. I mean, because we're coming up on a new election and a changing of the guards, and you know how our lovely government can be. You never know what's going to happen in these United States streets. So there is going to be a Army official that's going to come on the platform and talk about emergency preparedness, and so we will have that on Friday. So if you you want to know what you need to do, if you don't know how to build a fire, without matches. You need to tune in. If you don't know what to do if there is a bomb threat, you need to tune in. If you don't know what to do in case of war, you need to tune in Friday, okay? Because, it's fire and brimstone over here in the United States, okay? I mean, child, you just never know, baby. You just never know. What is the point of this? If you don't know what the point of this video is, you should not be here because you can't read. I don't know who you are, but you have a great day, okay? Okay, you have a nice day if you don't know what the point is. Okay. Anyway, I don't got time for foolery. I am not on that today. I'm trying to stay in my feminine frame. Okay. I don't want to be cussing nobody out on this stream. Having said that, bye.
So to Red Lipstick Vibe, the OG in the motherfucking host.
I'm just wanna see a man that cut the truck and bought the bang bang rain 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 rain. Let's face the facts, you can't compete with me. You've been watching, plotting and copying, but still can't beat me. Envious of my flow, my savage style. You can't duplicate divine energy. I'm dripping the red lips, red tits, red bottoms, real slick, real hair, real nails, real hips, brown sugar skin dripping in chocolate, pretty petty red RLV, dropping gems of wisdom and femininity. Rain, 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 rain. You hate that fact that all men respects me. My style, my grace, my pretty face, my gift shot so bright, all in your face. Unbreakable, unstoppable, untouchable, covered in blood and empire. By my side, I'm a part of a conscious tribe. Unbreakable, unstoppable, untouchable, pretty petty red RLV, dropping gems of wisdom and femininity. Red lipstick vibes is where you wanna be. Petty red is who you wanna be. Petty red is who you wanna be. Unbreakable, unstoppable, untouchables, empire standing behind me, a conscious tribe by my side. Prepaid red RLV, red lipstick vibe is where you wanna be. Get it through your head, there can only be one me. Traditional mindset, moving gracefully. You hate that fact that all men respects me. My style, my grace, my gift shine so bright, all in your face. I'm dripping in red lips, red tips, red bottoms, real slick, real hair, real nails, real hips, brown sugar skin dripping in chocolate. Unbreakable, unstoppable, untouchable, pretty petty red RLV, dropping gems of wisdom and divine femininity. Red lipstick vibes is where you wanna be. Petty red is who you wanna be. Unbreakable, unstoppable, untouchable,